Hello and welcome to MamaSoup Talks. I am Joanne Alakwa, the founder of the MamaSoup social network just for moms. And this is my wonderful haughty husband, who also happens to be the managing director and the treasurer of MamaSoup Incorporated.
And a content contributor now.
That's right. Now he's blogging. And we call him Papa Soup around here. And hey ho. And we're doing these talks because we do have 4 kids, and we've been through a lot of experiences. And over the years, people have asked us to do these talks, and we finally gave in. I'm not sure what happened. We
were noticing conversations on the MamaSoup app, right? And this entire showcase of us doing these talks, we generally will take conversations from the app that are going on right now and throw them up here and have a discussion about them and what our approach was for that as part. And I mean, please have a listen. We're not telling you what to do. We're just offering some sage advice as we see it, because we've done our share of parenting. Yeah, exactly.
Our experience must count for something. I mean,
absolutely.
No fucking parenting experts, but man, we kind of are.
Well, we are, but just by default, we've raised 4 kids and they're all healthy and happy and doing their own things. So I think we've succeeded. So
is parenting expert a course at university or college? Yeah. It is?
Exactly. No, I have no idea. I don't think so. I've seen the internet is filled with parenting advice from all kinds of sources and all kinds of people. And we're just another rung on the ladder. But quite frankly, I think we're better than any of them. So you should pay attention to us. Today, what are we talking about today? Yeah.
Today we're talking about, so this conversation for me was inspired by people talking about what to pack in their birth bag. Okay. And I thought we could think way back, because our baby is 17 now. But talking about partners, because talking with you gives really a cool perspective for people watching. You know, MamaSoup is it's all about moms, but bringing in a partner and giving that sort of 3D perspective can be really, really useful for a lot of people. Absolutely. So talking about birth bags, and pretty much when a mom goes into the hospital, she has to pack stuff in her bag, obviously, but the hospital really, for the most part, can help take care of her needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry,
but when a partner it goes to the hospital, they go, and especially now with the Cove, I don't even want to say it.
I can't even imagine. I was fortunate enough to be in there with you when we had our kids. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, you have one experience being the mother, a lot more involved, all the attention's on you. I'm just kind of standing on the sidelines observing. And I'm telling you, it was an experience. For all you dads out there, do not miss the opportunity to go through the birthing experience with your partner. Yeah. It is something that you just cannot watch that on a video and get the same appreciation as actually being there and seeing it all unfold in front of you. And at the end of it, your child is the product that's been, all the attention's been focused on. And it's like, now you have this beautiful soul. It's amazing. It's overwhelming at the time, and you're blown away with emotion and everything else at birth. But man, I don't understand as a dad, as a father, how anyone would want to be missing out on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some dads can't take it. The natural childbirth is a little much for some to actually witness.
Yes. So as a nurse, I've picked up a couple of dads off the floor.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's not everybody can take that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm for us, and in our case, with the 2 kids that we had together, they were both C-sections. So I got to be in there with you and hold your hand, so to speak, while they operated. I felt bad for you because you really couldn't see anything. And once the baby comes out, the baby gets taken away and get taken care of. The dad goes with the baby, and mom's left hanging on the with her arms tied on the table, looking a little help. What's going on? You can't move, you can't see, you're numb from the chest down. And it's just, I feel for you. It's not a great experience.
You know what's cool now though? Now they have things like clear drapes, so you can watch your baby born.
Oh, okay.
And now they have things like skin to skin in the operating room, so you're allowed to put your baby and keep your baby with you.
Oh, that's so much better.
So they don't have to be separated. Yeah. So unfortunately, 17 years ago, they didn't have that. But
no, 17 years ago, Joanne's view was this, right?
Yes.
And it was like,
what's going on? What's going on?
And here's me looking over going, oh, they're okay. They're, yeah. Okay.
There's your guts.
Okay, that's kind of gross. Yeah. Like, I mean, understandable C-sections. You know, our obstetrician told Joanne, because her first two kids both got stuck in the birth canal, he didn't want to risk doing it a third time with Chrissy. And so opted for, you know, cesarean. And I'm glad we did, because you can speak more to it than that. I mean, I was just an observer.
Well, just the first two babies got stuck and they had to break their collarbone to get them out.
Pretty serious.
That's like it's an obstetrical emergency. And so they're just lucky that they have use of their arms, because you can have a really bad traumatic birth injury from that. So yeah, mine were definitely necessary. But I want to talk about now with the pandemic, some dads, like you were able to go in and come out as
you
now a lot of them are going in and they have to stay there.
One of the best experiences for me and memories for me was after the birth, and they got you all sorted out and we were back in the room and you were recovering. And we had our baby in the little incubator box beside your bed. And, you know, it was quiet time. You would need some rest because you were exhausted. And I would take Chrissy for a walk down the hall. All the nurses would get her all swaddled up, or you would, if you could get out of bed. And, you know, she was all swaddled up and quiet. And here I am walking down the hall. I have never been more proud of anything than I was walking down that crowded hospital hallway with my newborn in my arms, with beaming, smiling from ear to ear. Because you know what? Everybody that passed you by, nurses, other dads, other people, everybody had a smile on their face because they saw how you have a glow about you, because you've got something so wonderful in your arms, right?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And COVID just robs people of that, right? It's just it just needs to go away. I don't want to talk about COVID.
I know, but unfortunately, it's changing the whole birth experience, not just for moms, but for partners too. And
you're right.
I don't think we talk about it enough because, well, we talk about the moms because the moms aren't getting the support that they need, but we need to talk about the partners too, because the partner is having a baby as well.
Yeah. People forget that. It's like, it's you know, as a father, it's like, it's my baby too. Right. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I learned a lot, and I was very grateful that I had you, because you already had two kids. So you were there to pull me down out of the rafters when I would freak out. I would start sweating profusely anytime the baby fucking made a sound.
You would.
Because I didn't know what to do. I was so helpless. Here's this big, strong guy who's managed to get to this point in his life, and now he's being beaten down to the knees by this tiny little bundle of human joy. And I didn't know what to do with it. But you know what? I did. I was worried about nothing.
You did.
I did. It comes to you.
I used to love when I worked in the birthing unit, I used to love dads, because there was like all these different kinds of new dads. There was like the dad who would sit in the corner on his phone.
Yeah.
And because he was scared to get involved in anything or do something wrong. There was the dads who wanted right in there, like
with the cameras.
Right between the legs. Yeah. And then, which is a little bit, I think, what you would be.
The documentalist, yeah.
And then there's like the dads who would wait outside the room because they didn't know what to do. But you were, as a birth partner, you were so, like, I couldn't imagine going through that without having you there.
I was so grateful to be able to be there with you.
Yeah.
Because of I gotta say, I mean, like you said, they've made some changes, obviously, to the process. But a woman getting a C-section, 15 years ago, 17 years ago, what the focus was all on the baby.
Yeah.
Until it came out. And the thing I really loved seeing was the obstetrician that was performing the C-section. As soon as the umbilical cord was cut, the nurses took the baby and took it away. And the obstetrician didn't care about the baby.
No,
he cared about you. He had to finish with you because you had this gaping hole in you that had to be closed up and stitched up. And his concern switched immediately to you. It's not about the baby anymore. But for me, it was, my excitement was my baby's here. And I left you there with him. And I felt so bad for that because you were helpless. You had no idea. All you wanted was to hold your child and you couldn't. And that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
They did that to me apparently when I was a kid, when I was born. They took me right away from my mom. She had me naturally, but she didn't see me for hours afterwards. Yeah. Hours. And I missed all that bonding time, right?
So I wish that we had have known about, like, 17 years ago, we really didn't know about the power of skin on skin for newborns. And so I wish that we had known about that so you could have done it right away.
Absolutely. And I totally would have. I mean, I encourage all dads to do that today. If you're having a child by C-section, take your goddamn shirt off and take your child when they hand it to you and put them on your chest, or her.
Yeah.
Because I would so love to go back and be able to do that with my kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would.
With a vaginal birth, usually it's done with the mom. It's like, that's the norm. Or the birthing person. But with a C-section, it's not always, you can't always get around some hospital policies, which is bullshit, and it drives me nuts. But anyhow, if the mom cannot have the baby skin to skin, I would encourage every birthing partner to do it. To be there to do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the hospitals are open to that now, right? They know it's scientifically based. Yeah. So if they're not, again, and you know what, having the benefit of having a doula there, or a different kind of child practitioner of some sort that is exposed to that kind of stuff is great to have there too, right? Oh my God. Even if it's yes, like you can speak to that for sure. I mean, I'm a retired doula, but I am a huge advocate for doula care. Even when you have a C-section, having that person there that can help you when you can't move, you can't even just like trying to figure out breastfeeding or baby care, or support the partner, because all of a sudden after a C-section, especially, a lot of the baby care is on the partner. Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right, because you're recovering. The mother's recovering from major surgery. Yeah. Well, that's what people don't see. Some people I don't think even realize how major of a procedure a C-section is. I mean, it's opened you up completely to get this child out. And yeah, I mean, you're traumatized after that. Your body is traumatized after that. And even more so if it's an emergency C-section, right? Yeah. Because those aren't nearly as delicate as a planned C-section. No. More of a rip and tear and get everything out kind of thing. Oh. And yeah, so you're healing. If you don't have a good partner that can be there to help support and care and nurture, you've got, nursing staff doing it for you instead. Which, don't get me wrong, lots of great nurses, labor and delivery nurses out there that are doing it because they love kids so much. So I would think, I don't know, I can't speak. I'm not a labor and delivery person. I don't know what draws a woman to do that, but you can. Yeah, please tell people. I mean, it's the labor and delivery nurses are there because they love that area of nursing. It's so specialized, but they have a huge patient load, like especially after. So like for postpartum nurses, it's not unusual to have 6 or 7 moms and babies. That's like 14 patients in a 12-hour shift.
that you have to go in between and care for individually. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah, I can't even imagine it.
So do you remember, like, do you wish that you'd taken a parenting class, in thinking back now, like hindsight, so that you would know how to swaddle and change a diaper and,
Well,
all that?
you taught me all that stuff. I
Yeah,
had my
yeah.
parenting class. I never had the experience of being a new parent along with a spouse that was a new parent. Like we
Yeah.
didn't share that experience. You were already seasoned with 2 kids. So when I would do or go a certain path and think I should do that, you were there to correct me and say, no, 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 we don't do it like that. We have to do it like this. And you
Oh,
would explain to me, no, and that was good,
okay.
right? Because I mean, I would have made mistakes, right? Because I didn't know. If I was new to this and it was my first child with my partner, I would, yeah, maybe take a prenatal class and learn about swaddling and how to hold the baby and stuff. Because when you don't know that stuff and they hand you this swaddled baby, you don't even know how to hold it. You're like, okay. Whereas naturally, some people would take it and just, naturally come in and swaddle it and hold it, which basically is what I did. I've seen dads though, like, and hand their child off to a nurse because they just were afraid. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too, and I think in my years of nursing with moms and babies and partners, I've always been really, like, not the nurse that would just come in and do it, but unless it was an emergency, but I would come in and teach it.
Yeah.
It's like to help sort of empower the partners to know how to step up and help out, because I have been a mom 4 times. So, I think that's really important.
But you've also been there for other births as well, right? In the hospitals and things, and you've seen other people's situations and stuff like that, being in the labor and delivery area, being a doula. You've seen a lot more than any other parent has ever seen.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've like literally have done C-sections.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
Yeah.
I wanted to take this moment to plug, because this is an important conversation that's kind of turned to C-sections, and to let people know that I do have a digital prenatal class that is specifically for people having a planned C-section, because
well, isn't that handy?
It just came up, and like, honestly, and it's available at mamasoup.online, and it's
along with other
great
tools. Yeah, along with a bunch of other information. I mean, specifically, we're talking about this. It's a great course. Please check it out.
Yeah, because especially if you're a partner, I think it would be good for a partner too, because it explains what's happening in the hospital, what to expect, what to pack.
Well, you created some plans for, like, and I think you've got some sheets about what dads should expect, and helpful hubby. There we go. Look, these are the things that Joanne created to try and help you guys out. And believe me, they're helpful and they're available. Those are free downloads available right now, right, honey?
They're not free anymore. They were free, but now, sorry, mind. Yeah, no, they are.
Well, we have to feed mouths too and pay bills. So.
There's 3 in the package, and I think it's $5. Like, it's so worth it.
Okay, absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely worth it.
Yeah, but these, if you take the course, the C-section course, these are in it.
Ah, nice.
So they are included.
I encourage all partners to do these courses and read this documentation with your spouses. This is not all on the baby mama.
Yeah.
Partners need to be part of this process. There's a lot of old school dads out there that want to be in the waiting room smoking a cigarette and pacing back and forth, but that's just not the way it is.
No.
Right? And quite frankly, that's not what your partner needs. Your partner needs you and wants you there, even though they'll yell at you and scream at you and call you names sometimes. I've seen some pretty funny births where the baby mama is just losing it, but to me that would all be part of the experience. And
yes, and I feel like you would regret it, like, years later, if you did.
Oh yeah. If you didn't, absolutely. I would totally regret it. I'm so grateful that I could have been there for the birth of my own two kids. It was just, oh, just I can't, there's nothing to compare to it. I can't even explain what it feels like. It's amazing. No other feeling like that.
Anything you would have done differently besides skin to skin?
Well, probably a lot of things. Yeah, that would be another conversation, actually.
Okay.
What I would have done better and differently. Skin to skin, absolutely. I like the idea that they had, you know, clear sheets so you could be part of the experience and see what was going on rather than be in the dark. But you know what? I live in the moment that it happens, and you know, hopefully, and God willing, not just God willing, but hopefully, everything goes well with the birth, because sometimes that doesn't happen, right? Sometimes there are complications, and I can't speak to those because I haven't experienced them. So, but for a healthy birth and just live in the moment, enjoy every moment, capture it if you want, but honestly, you will never forget this moment. You have images burnt in your brain of it. You've got memories that are there forever. You don't need to be there with your camera in everybody's faces.
No, you know what I tell partners to put a GoPro on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can look at it afterwards and do with it what you will.
Yeah. Anyhow, well, this has been a lovely conversation as usual.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I hope everyone finds it useful, especially the birth partners. And just don't be afraid to make mistakes or say the wrong thing. Just be there to try and support your partner.
Absolutely. And come to MamaSoup for some help and some information and some teaching and some education. We've got it all over here.
We really do. We've got
and we want to help you. We're here to answer any questions, and we just want to help.
Yeah. The conversation always from these talks continues over on the MamaSoup platform.
Absolutely.
And it's available on iOS, Android, and at mamasoup.ca. Search the tag MamaSoup Talks.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I love you.
Love you too, hon. Thanks for the talk.